ready to share something meaningful with the world, but it's actually not true. Most likely, you are already born with your gift. Namaste, everyone, and welcome back. In today's episode, I will speak with you about how to bring your gifts into the world. And I would love to speak with you about 3 topics. And I would love to speak with you about, at first, what are your gifts and how you can uncover your gifts, and what are there actually for gifts if we are speaking about the spiritual gifts, right? Then I would love to share with you, why are we humans hesitating and procrastinating to share our gifts with the world? And why are we sometimes postponing to start a project or to just express what we bring into the world? And for those of you who think, I actually even don't know what I am bringing into this world, I will also share with you how you can uncover this. And at the end, I will guide you through a small meditation. So yes, I'm glad that you are here. And yeah, just make yourself comfortable wherever you are. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, holding your breath for a moment, and then exhaling, allowing yourself to arrive here in the space, and just to take the time to have some minutes and have some moments today just for yourself. And I hope you will have a beautiful time by being here. So I think when we are thinking about gifts and what do I have like for a personal gift that I can offer to the world, we think very often about very creative gifts, right? For example, am I a good writer, right? Or am I a good singer? Or am I a good dancer? Or am I a good performer, right? So in my work with people, and also just like in my private life and in my social environment, I very often see in conversations that people think or even say out loud directly, I don't know what I'm bringing into this world. I actually don't even have a talent, right? If you just ask sometimes people about what is your passion, what are you passionate about, and what are your talents, people very fast are even not really sure what to answer. And if you think now, if I would ask you, what is your gift? Like, what is your talent? Then maybe you would answer to me, I actually don't know. But if that is your answer, that actually does not mean that you don't have a gift or that you don't have a talent. So listen, most likely our gifts are not something that we are creating, right? Most likely our gifts are already present with us the entire time. Okay? That doesn't mean that you cannot work on a talent or that you cannot work on a skill, right? For example, being comfortable with public speaking, right? If you would ask big speakers in the world how they felt when they have been the first time on stage, some people are really born with that. Some people, are just natural with it. However, some people are not very comfortable with it and they really trained that skill, right? So this is also possible. The point I try to make is here that there are gifts that are not so obvious, maybe like you think, and very often this is exactly your unique gift. So to come here more to a clearer context, for example, just think about things that people say to you. With what do people compliment you, right? And if you think, oh my gosh, I'm not receiving compliments to some things, then believe me, very often maybe the universe is doing this on purpose as well to bring you on a journey to let you do uncover your gift, right? So I'm just thinking about a moment where I was on Christmas sitting with my boyfriend and a friend together, and we were playing a game. And in this game, we needed to answer questions. So you always picked a card, and then everyone were answering the question. And there was the question, what is, it was kind of connected to gifts. So I don't remember the question exactly, but it was something like, what is the person next to you? What would you compliment this person about, right? Like, what? Yes, exactly. Say a compliment to the person next to you, what you share way too less with this person. And so my boyfriend was saying to me that I am bringing into a room a certain energy just by entering the room, just by being in that room, right? With my presence. And this was actually quite interesting because we spoke then about that. And my friend said, yeah, like, yes, that's so true. But I'm so sure you hear that very often. And that's actually not the case. I mean, of course, we get some compliments. And of course, I also received some compliments, but it was never that someone exactly says to me, or when I'm coming into, the room, that someone says, like, oh my gosh, like, you, it's so amazing that you're now in the room or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, and of course, we are also deep down, of course, we are aware about our gifts unconsciously anyway. But to give you another example, right? Let's say you have a friend and you think, oh my God, this friend is so loving, right? This friend is so loving. This friend has such a beautiful way of just making everyone feeling very welcoming, right? So, for example, I have also some friends, and it's so obvious for me that they do that, right? They just know how to talk, they know how to speak, and they give you this warm feeling. And if I'm thinking about that, I'm saying that to them way too less because it's so obvious, right, that they are doing that, that I think, oh my gosh, like they must know that they are doing this so absolutely amazing, right? So you see what I'm trying to explain, that very often the most natural thing we do is what we are, and this is our unique gift. By that, I want to say you that we so often think like we need to learn something more, or we need to fix something, or we need to do a training before we are ready to share something meaningful with the world. But it's actually not true. Most likely, you are already born with your gifts, right? And of course, I will come to that in my next point, why we sometimes hesitate and what there are for deeper reasons, right? That are even going way beyond back, like reaching our ancestors and reaching like unconscious loyalties we are having to not being able to step into our full potential. But I will come to that back later. So just coming back to your gifts, right? That it's not always the gift, as I said, like to be the best dancer or singer or speaker. Sometimes the gifts that are very, very meaningful for the people around you are these small little things, right? Maybe you have a gift of analyzing situations very fast, right? Maybe you are amazing in organizing. Maybe you have a very big strength in balancing your own behaviors, right? Like, let's say, for example, there are people that are very extreme. I am, for example, a person like that. Like, it's this extreme or it's that extreme, right? And there are also some people that have certain addictions, right? And from what we are having addictions, right? We have very often at first a trauma, and then we have a protective mechanism, or better to say, also a coping mechanism. Let's say, for example, oh my God, I have this trauma. Now I really need to eat sugar. I feel better. And at one point, eating sugar becomes the addiction. Or you have this trauma and now you escape into watching television or a lot of Netflix. And at one point, Netflix get addiction. Or this can go with any addiction: sex, social media, drugs, alcohol, eating, food, even work, right? This is what people do. Oh my God, it's horrible at home. So I'm going to work and I'm just working the whole time. What happened? Work is your addiction, right? I just had this morning at the beach a beautiful conversation with a friend of mine about that. And we were just speaking about this topic. And that's just very important to know where addictions are coming from. So there are some people, they are very sensitive of being addicted to something. And there are some people, they are not. They are very controlled. They are just like, oh, I just have one coffee a day. Or I know like I need to be today at 10 asleep that I have enough energy tomorrow. So maybe you are this person, right? And so you could help by that, what comes so natural to you, other people to work on their addictions, right? Or maybe you just have an eye for how to make things beautiful in your home, right? Maybe you have a talent for organizing things. Maybe you have a talent for sensing certain energies in the room, right? And then you are maybe able to switch those energies. Or maybe this is already your gift just to be very intuitive and just be very intuitive to reading rooms. And this will maybe be then your gift to be at one point like able to hold rooms for others. Or maybe you are very sensitive of seeing blind spots at other people and you have a gift to speak with them about that on a very like not judgmental way without blaming them and being able to make them feel safe, right? Maybe you have just like this very nature that allows you that people open up to you, right? And you can just check in with that like right now here with me in the moment. When you're around people, do people open up to you, right? Or are people listening to you, right? So both is a gift. If you think you're maybe more introvert or extrovert, I also believe that we have different dynamics with people. So with some people, we will maybe be a bit more introvert. With some people, we will be more extrovert, right? However, I also do believe that we have different dynamics with certain people because we learn from every conversation and from every relationship in our life something different, right? And I think this is a very important point to know, just like also with relationships, right? That there are some people and with them you can be maybe more active. With some people, you can maybe have very deep conversations. And just because you're not able to have this with all the people in your life, that doesn't mean they are not your people, right? It just means that with some people, you can do things differently because everyone has a different gift. So I just would love you to maybe you want to reflect about that, or maybe you want to journal a little bit about that to really, remind yourself, oh, what is actually my gift? So if you don't know yet, then what you might also could do is ask your loved ones, ask the people around you, hey, what would you say can I do really well, right? Or ask them, how am I making you feel when I'm around you? And hopefully it will be something nice. I mean, maybe you can also, by that process, uncover your shadows. So, yeah, it's just like very important to know, yes, we can develop talents, we can develop skills, but most likely your gifts are the things you do so natural. And this is actually a beautiful thing because that comes back to the point that you just have to be you. And when you are just yourself, like you are unique, like every one of us is unique. It's not like if someone says to you, you are so unique, like that's not special. Like every one of us is a unique piece in this world. Like no one else exists who is exactly like you. And that means if you are just allowing yourself being you, then you are the most powerful and magnetic person. And this is your gift. Just be you and don't try to be someone else. And don't try to have the gifts of someone else, right? This is, for example, why when I'm doing my yoga teacher trainings, some people think that are also maybe not so deep into the topic that yes, like I'm doing a teacher training because then I have to become a yoga teacher. However, normally teacher trainings, and I'm just speaking now about the teacher trainings at Q Yoga, are there to be able to explore your human being, to explore who you really are, who you are not through the tools of yoga, right? And maybe this is your path that then you would love to share about through this path or through the yogic teachings, these things also with other people. But very often you will discover through this path what does truly matter and is truly really important for your life. To give you an example, I had a student and she did a training with me, and she thought, and she just opened it up to me and she said like, oh my gosh, I thought like I also have now to be a teacher like you or to do the things like you do them, but actually I'm just exploring or enjoying something else more. And I said like, yes, that's exactly the point. Like we don't do a training, no matter what training it is, to become like someone else or to go the path that someone else does. Like, no, your path is completely unique. And I was just reading yesterday such a powerful quote, which I will share to you before I will come to the next point. Why do we hesitate to expressing our gifts? And this is the picture, right? And if you have your video camera on now, then you can watch me because I will try to bring the gesture and the mimic over. So you could think about this, like no one really cares about me. Like no one really cares about me in life, or like no one gives a shit. Okay. And then you could also think about this quote like this: no one gives a shit. No one cares because everyone is just busy with themselves, right? Like, this is like the most people are busy with their own life, with their own self, figuring out their own gifts, right? Like working on the talents or working on their shadows or not being aware about any of this anyway. So if you think now, you know your gift, right? So, and you all have a gift, we all have gifts, and when you're maybe really aware about it and you're at the step like and thinking, oh my God, I really want to bring them out, just pin this affirmation into your sleeping room and be reminded no one gives a damn shit, right? So just knowing everyone does their own thing, and everyone, yes, everyone is in their own bubble. So, and also I tell you, the people who care so much about what you might do, right, are, or who criticize you, are the people who are really bored in their own life and who have the time to worry about that, and yeah, are just there to blame other people because they're not happy with their own life. All right. So why do we hesitate, right? Just ask yourself, what do you think? Why do you procrastinate with expressing your gifts, right? The most thing and the biggest reason is normally fear, right? Normally, there are almost way deeper reasons, right? Like fear, unconscious contracts, loyalties we are having. And I will speak once with you about this topic more when we explore the topic of systemic family constellation, which has, of course, to do with our family and our system and our roots. But what most people don't know is that when you go to a family constellation, like you don't go with your own family to your family constellation. And it's actually a therapeutic tool to explore with the morphogenetic field, right? Like the morphogenetic field is the field in this universe and in the world where all informations are held. And this is how you can see it. We have a field in this world where all informations are saved, where we can have even access. We literally everyone can have access to all these informations. And this is how you experience in a family constellation the true, we can call it magic, or it's literally a miracle because we're working here with the unseen. You are able to connect to all the informations, right? And it's not like, I mean, just think about it. It's not a, if you think, oh, just some certain peoples have the intuition and their third eye open to connect to information, it's like, no, it's not like that. We humans are all equal, and there is no magician or like a more magical person who can do that. We can all do that. And this is what I love about family constellation. If we are opening ourselves up to that, we can work with all the informations that are around. And that brings me to the point of how can you discover deeper fears. Like family constellation, for example, is an amazing tool for that, right? That means, let's say you have a pattern. Your pattern is, for example, if it's a relationship pattern, for example, like running always away, then maybe this is not your personal topic, because maybe you also think, oh my God, I'm working on this since years, but this is really a pattern. It just happens again and again. And that might come from someone else in your system. So this means this is an information already in the field. And through working with the invisible and the morphogenetic field, you are able to uncover this hidden dynamics, right? We will talk about this one more in depth. But for you to understand that we could look in a constellation at anything, right? Like, let's say you procrastinate those things, right? And that can mean that you have this, right? Like this loyalty or this contract that you think, if you're not stepping into, like, let's say it really like that, if you don't step into the shoes of your grandmother or great grandmother, then it can feel subconsciously for you that you betray someone. Let's say someone in your family was like in very poor, in poverty, and in a very poor environment, then you might feel very uncomfortable to live something else now in this life. And this is really close connected to these deeper reasons we are having that we are not expressing our gifts. And so I would say, like, if you want to uncover your gifts, and if you want to uncover your gifts and you're also, so to say, full potential, you need to face those fears. And you have to do some reflection work or some inner work, some healing work, however you would like to call it, which is like very important to become aware about all this potential that is in you, which is, for example, another tool. If you think now what could be a tool to uncover that, also the tool of Kundalini yoga helps us with that. And this goes more through the body than rather, for example, through the mind. Even if in family constellation, we're also working, of course, with your body and not the mind. However, I would say sometimes we get there a deeper visible understanding through things we are seeing than in the constellation, in the field. We can really understand them also with our heart and with our mind. And in Kundalini yoga, we really work, for example, let's say like you just work with your body. It always goes over the body, and then you work with your body, and then you release a deep-seated fear, and you might never. And this release comes because, for example, you express anger or you express tears, and you might be able never ever to figure out where that came from, but there's no need for it. And this is why, if we have a consistent practice, which is very important if you would love to bring your gifts into the world, is that you have, like, you need to, at first, like, if you have your gifts, you can, of course, also train then your gifts, right? It's like a skill. So, of course, it's like that when you come to the earth, when your soul comes to the earth, then God gave you this gift, and then it's about like, okay, now go with this gift on this journey and like go and explore it deeper. And this is your life journey. This is your soul's journey. This is your soul path. And now see what you can do with that. So to come to the last point is that very often when we know then even our gifts, or when we worked with the root causes even of some things, we still are manipulating ourselves through waiting, through hiding, or through talking very negatively with us. And there, I just wanted to give you some few examples what you might say to yourself, right? And these could be things like, I am not ready, or who am I to do that, right? And this brings me back to what I just said, that we all human beings are equal, no matter where you came from, who your parents have been, in what kind of, family you grew up, what your professional skills are, right? Like on which school you were, right? Like people who are making their worth depending on that are very much connected to the ego and not to the soul, right? So being on your soul path means of course to let those ego layers go, and those ego layers are actually the ways that are not allowing you to step into your gifts, right? So when your mind kicks in and will bring you away from the path of your heart. So it's very normal to think then like, I need more time, or I need to do this before I am stepping into expressing this gift or those gift. But the truth is that just by doing those things, just by being on your path, and by being on your path, you will be in the best practice, right? Like there is never a moment in our life that feels perfect for doing something, right? And it's about trying it. And the thing that we are regretting most likely when we will die is like, not when we failed, or not if something did not work out. It's about, oh my gosh, I never tried it. Oh my gosh, this was really a dream of me, and I didn't find a way to that. Because the truth is, we have, and we spoke about this already before, we have our own free will. We have our own free will. And in every single situation in your life, you have the ability to choose, and to choose different. And by choosing different, you will have different circumstances in your life. And by having different circumstances in your life, you will feel different. And by feeling different, you will create a different reality, because your reality in your world will mirror what you feel, right? And this is why it's always about feeling. This is why, for example, we will also speak once more about the gratitude practice. It's like, you can just check if you're grateful, if it makes you happy. If it doesn't make you happy, then you're not truly grateful. And it's also fine if you think like, oh, I'm not grateful in the moment in my life. But this is the idea of a deep-rooted gratitude practice. It's not just filling out in your 3-minute journal, like, I'm grateful for my home, for my kids, for my cats, for my relationship. I know it in my mind. No, you have to feel it in your heart. You have to feel it in your heart. And if you really go into that, right, then you will feel the emotion. And through the emotion, you will vibrate the frequency. And through vibrating the frequency, your reality will change. And this is why I'm always saying, if your environment doesn't change, you don't practice yoga. So uncover your gifts. Trust that your gifts can be the most natural things to you, right? Speak with the people around you, what they admire about you, what they think you can do amazing. Ask them how they feel about you. And if you already know what your gifts are, then yeah, just allow yourself to step into them, not waiting for the perfect moment. Go out, start with one small step, like do the things you love. And by that, you will find a way, and actually those things will come then to you, right? Like, for example, let's say you say now, okay, I know now my gift, but what can I do with it? Can I even have a profession with it? And yes, you can, because there are so many people out there, they will benefit from what you bring into the world. Just be reminded about what I told you about how we people are different and how we feel different with different people, because everyone is unique and everyone has something else to bring into this world. And we are so interconnected, multidimensional beings that this is exactly why we are here. We experiencing through this and through this variety and all of this life here on earth. Okay. And for those of you who are not driving in the moment, we will end this episode with short meditation. So just come into a comfortable seat. If you want, you can also lie down, and then please take a moment to take a deep breath in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. You can also just listen to those words. Inhaling, allowing your eyes to be closed, holding the breath, exhaling through your mouth. Last time, taking the most deep breath in through your nose, holding, 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 exhaling through the mouth of a sigh. Up. And then just switch to your natural breathing. Allowing your body, no matter where you are, to become fully relaxed from head to toe. Relaxing the muscles in the face, the jaw muscles, the tongue, the throat, your shoulders, the arm, both arms, your belly, your sexual organs are fully relaxed. Every part of your back, every vertebra in your spine is fully relaxed. Your legs, your thighs, your knees, your calf muscles, and the sole of your feet are fully relaxed. Your whole body feels safe and is fully relaxed. The deeper you breathe, the more you clear and heal your system. Relaxing the muscles in your eyes and bringing your focus to the point between your eyebrows. Feeling all the ground beneath, all the areas where your skin and your body is touching any surface. And bringing your awareness to all the places on your body who are not touching anything except the air. Allowing your antennas from the point over your crown to reach through the room you're in, up to the clouds, the sky, the earth atmosphere, into the universe, by being connected through your body with roots from your feet and your toes deep into the center of the earth, feeling this connection with Mother Earth and Father Sky. And then asking yourself, who am I would love to be today? How would I love to show up for myself and for those around me? What is one thing that I could do today that brings me closer to myself and to my gifts? What do I deep down know I am really good at? And how would my life feel if I allow myself to be without judgment, proudly, so good at that? With which emotions do I want to end now this episode and take those elevated emotions into my day and into my new reality? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then please place your hands on your heart center. Take a deep breath through your heart. And with your exhalation, you can slowly, gently open your eyes. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you could take informations and everything what you were here today, and your soul and your subconscious mind ready to receive, that you can receive it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to connect with you here in the next episode. Until then, yeah, may you be blessed, protected, and healthy. And yeah, let me know what you could take today out with you from this episode. Please always feel free to share this episode with someone who could benefit from this episode, to share the message here from Kio World, and to share your personal message with me. I'm always happy to receive your personal messages and to connect with the listeners behind all of that. And yeah, sending you so much love, and speak next time. Bye bye.